Have you ever walked into a store, picked up your absolute favorite snack, and realized, wait a minute, this definitely costs more than it used to? Or maybe you've heard your parents groaning about how filling up the car with gas is just taking a massive bite out of their wallets lately. Well, you're not imagining things. There is a very real force at work here. Today, we're tracking down an invisible money thief. It's this wild phenomenon that affects literally every single one of us, every single day, just quietly shrinking what our money can actually do. And it's called inflation.
Think about your own money for a second. Let's say you get a weekly allowance. A couple of years ago, maybe you took that allowance down to the local ice cream parlor, and you could easily buy 3 giant scoops of your favorite flavor, the whole shebang. But suddenly, you walk in with that exact same allowance, and no way, you could only afford 1 single scoop. So what happened? Did the ice cream magically get 3 times better? No, probably not. Your allowance just kind of lost some of its superpower. And we really need to figure out why.
Okay, let's dive into this. Picture this. Back in the 1950s and 60s, a gallon of milk cost about 49 cents. 49 cents. Today, that exact same gallon of milk is going to cost you around $4. I mean, think about that massive difference. The cows haven't changed, the milk is the exact same stuff, the jug is pretty much the same. So why on earth are we paying nearly 10 times as much for it today? Well, the answer actually isn't that the milk is somehow more valuable. It's that the dollars we use to buy it have changed in value.
So what are we actually seeing play out here? It's what economists call inflation. Simply put, it's the gradual decrease in purchasing power over time as the general price level of goods and services rises. Now notice that phrase, general price level, right? We aren't just talking about, say, a popular video game getting super expensive because everyone wants it for the holidays. No, we're talking about widespread, persistent increases across the board. From the food you eat, to the clothes you wear, to the bus or car you take to school. It is literally an invisible thief, constantly shrinking your buying power. Honestly, if you remember nothing else from this explainer, remember the golden rule of inflation. Over time, your money buys you less. It's that simple. Imagine you have a crisp, brand new $100 bill. You stick it in a time capsule, bury it in your backyard, and leave it there for 20 years. When you finally dig it up, it's going to physically look exactly the same. It's still a $100 bill. But because prices have been creeping up over those 2 decades, the actual amount of stuff that specific piece of paper can buy, it drops significantly.
All right, let's look at the mechanics and exactly why these prices go up.
So we know inflation means prices go up and purchasing power goes down. But what actually triggers this? What are the hidden gears turning behind the scenes of our economy, forcing these prices higher? Well, economists point to 2 primary culprits. First up, we have demand pull inflation. Think of this like a giant bidding war. When everyone suddenly has extra money and wants the exact same new smartphone, but there just aren't enough of them to go around, the store can absolutely raise the price. The second culprit is cost push inflation. This one's like a domino effect. Think back to our ice cream example. Ice cream needs milk, sugar, maybe some wheat for the cone. If a terrible farming year makes wheat and sugar super expensive, the ice cream shop's costs skyrocket. And to survive, they have to push that extra cost straight onto you.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it maps out that first concept, demand pull inflation. See that downward sloping line? That represents consumer demand. When people get higher allowances or wages go up across the entire country, that demand line shifts to the right. This simple shift basically means people are trying to buy way more goods than the economy can instantly supply. And because factories can't just magically double their production overnight, the only place for the price to go is up. And this brilliantly illustrates our second cause, cost push inflation. Here we're focusing on that upward sloping supply line. Imagine global oil prices suddenly spike out of nowhere, making it incredibly expensive for trucks to deliver goods to your local stores. Or imagine a massive drought absolutely ruins the wheat harvest. The fundamental cost to produce things rises, which shifts our supply line to the left. The demand hasn't changed at all, right? People still desperately want their food and their deliveries, but because it costs so much more to supply them, businesses are basically forced to raise their prices, and you, the consumer, end up absorbing the shock.
Next up, let's talk about the role of money.
We really can't talk about prices without talking about the money itself. And that is exactly where central banks come in. They manage the actual supply of money, which kind of acts like fuel for inflation. Let's see how this builds step by step. Step 1. The central bank increases the money supply. They essentially inject more cash and bank deposits, what economists call M1 and M2, into the system. Step 2. All that extra money starts circulating through the economy, and hey, people feel richer. But step 3 is where the trap snaps shut. If the economy isn't producing more actual goods to match all that new money, you suddenly have too much money chasing too few goods. And finally, step 4, the value of each individual dollar drops and prices rise to compensate.
Which brings us to a huge question. How does inflation actually affect you?
So that's the big macroeconomic theory. But how does this invisible thief affect your actual piggy bank? Well, in the game of inflation, there are surprisingly clear winners and losers. It sounds completely crazy, but savers are actually the losers here. If you stuff $1,000 under your mattress for 10 years, inflation is just going to eat away at its power. You'll still have the same amount of cash, but it buys way, way less. On the flip side, borrowers with fixed-rate loans are actually winners. If you borrow money to buy a house today and inflation hits hard, your debt stays the exact same, but you get to pay it back with future dollars that are technically worth less. Also, if you own assets, things like stocks or a home, their value usually rises right alongside inflation, which really helps protect your wealth.
So, the crucial point is, you have to be proactive to protect yourself. You can't just sit back. First, you need to find ways to increase your income over time so your paycheck doesn't fall behind the rising cost of living. Second, please don't just hoard cash in a low-interest bank account or stuffed under your bed. Learn how to invest your savings into assets that actually grow faster than inflation. And third, be super smart with your daily budget. Knowing that everyday items like fuel, food, and clothes are inevitably going to get more expensive means you need to plan ahead and spend your money wisely.
Now, wait a second. Before you start thinking of inflation as this absolute total villain, it's super important to realize that a little bit of inflation is actually intentional. Central banks actively aim for a low, stable inflation rate, usually right around 2% a year. Why? Because it tells us the economy is healthy and growing. Think about it. If prices were constantly dropping, people would just stop spending money, right? They'd always wait for things to get cheaper tomorrow, and businesses would eventually crash. A small amount of inflation actually encourages people to invest and spend today, which keeps the whole economy moving forward. It's really only when inflation spikes too high and too fast that we have a massive problem.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. The invisible thief is out there. And while a little bit of inflation keeps the economic engine turning, it's ultimately up to you to make sure it doesn't steal your personal financial future. You now know exactly why prices go up, how supply and demand affect the cost of your favorite snacks, and why simply hoarding cash in a piggy bank just won't save you. So I leave you with this one big question to think about. Now that you know how the game works, how will you protect your purchasing power in the future?